In only 3 weeks, I'm going to be stepping on stage for the first time to compete as a lifetime natural bodybuilder. And with less than a month left until show day, it's crunch time. We actually received our skin prep routine that I'm going to have to be doing in the 3 weeks leading up to the show. Just to make sure that the spray tan I get holds as best as it can onto my skin, and that I don't have any areas that are blotchy or just don't necessarily have the best color. So I'm going to be going through that with you guys and explaining to you the whole process a little bit later on in the video. But before we get to that, we're here at Atlantis. It's 7 a.m. in the morning. We're finishing up our usual pre-workout that I showed you guys last week in the full day of eating. And we're going to be doing a pull day, training some back, biceps, a little bit of rear delts, I think. Gonna see what the physique is looking like. I woke up this morning at 141.0 pounds, which is a new low for the prep. That should be on track for where I need to be come show day. My coach thinks that I'll probably be in the high 130s, like 137, 138. So I think for being 3 weeks out, being at 141.0, par for the course. And I don't like golf. Obviously, before we get into the gym, if you do like this video, leave a like. I really do appreciate the support that you guys gave me on the last video. That one has been doing really, really well. Full days of eating usually do well. I think people like food overall. And if you haven't already and you're following along for the videos, you might as well subscribe to the channel, because you're going to learn a thing or two looking at this journey and talking about training, nutrition, wellness, and health. So enough yapping, let's set up, get in there, and go freaking Rambo mode. If you've ever seen Rambo First Blood, or even the second Rambo, the other Rambos are okay, but the first and second are the best. You'll know what I'm talking about. Let's get to it. Okay, so wrapped up pull day. I only filmed 3 of the exercises that I did, but I also did a 4th one, which was some face pulls with the rope, as well as a super multi-set of alternating dumbbell curls, where I did 18 reps on each arm, and then I took breaks of 15 seconds, and then I did another set of about 4 reps on each arm, 4 different times. So 18 reps, then 4, 4, 4, 4, just to kind of create a bit of a pump. Let's run through some poses and see what we're looking at 3 weeks out.
Feel you moving every inch. Take a part of your every sin.
chest is looking crazy.
Feel you moving every inch. Take upon your every sin. I just wanna share it.
All right, that's up. Let's get in the car, get our shake going. But first, we gotta do 40 minutes of Stairmaster. So I'll see you guys right after that. All right, so it is about 12:30 p.m. We left the gym at around 9:45 a.m. Drank my shake, went to Costco and picked up some food. I had to come back pretty quick because I was treating a friend of mine. His name's Kevin. He's actually gonna be the videographer that will be coming along to document a workout when I'm gonna be 1 week out from the competition, as well as show day, since obviously at the competition I'm not gonna be walking around with my camera trying to film a bunch of stuff. I'll be really just focused on performing well, getting pumped properly, finishing my glaze for the spray tan, and just make sure that I'm fueling as I need to, because that's really my big goal at the end of the day. So it was a good time. He just ran the half marathon at the Montreal Marathon here in the city and went well, so I'm happy for him. Anyway, we're here with our breakfast type meal, which is gonna be our 2 whole eggs, 200 grams of egg whites, 2 slices of Ezekiel toast, and about 250 grams of strawberries. And with this meal, I'm gonna be having my first double dose of L-carnitine. Like I said, I'm taking that at 3 different meals of the day, as well as just before I start eating, having my fat burner, just to have something that, again, keeps my metabolism rolling along. Since if you didn't watch last week's video, you would know that going into a caloric deficit for long enough of a time will slow down your metabolism unless you're giving it good reasons to keep up and to keep active. That can be potentially the use of a fat burner, but it could also be doing some cardio earlier in the morning to get things moving, making sure that your meals are spread out to a higher frequency so that your body's having to use its metabolism more throughout the day. Just think about it, it's like if you had a car and you only have to drive 2 times a day, or if you're eating 2 meals a day, you're gonna use a certain amount of fuel at the time and your car's engine is gonna get used, and then the rest of the time that it's not on, it's not really running, things aren't really flowing, it's stagnant. But if you have to go and drive 4, 5, or 6 times a day, then every time that you're starting up your car, everything is just getting warmed up, everything's getting used, and things are rolling and working well. It's the same idea with meal frequency. I know that there are people who are of the thought that 1 meal a day is all you need and that there's a lot of health benefits. I'm sure there are, but if you're gonna do any kind of bodybuilding, or if your goal is to try to put on muscle mass or to lose some weight rather than just feel good and feel healthy, then meal frequency is gonna be something that's worth playing with. I used to have 3 to 4 meals a day, and when I bumped it up towards 5 or 6 times, even eating the same amount of calories, just spread out over more meals, I was starting to lose body fat from that because my body was just getting through it. Everything was getting through my system, getting flushed out, getting digested properly, and it was great. Anyway, I'm gonna get this meal down and then I'll talk to you guys about the skincare routine for the spray tan that we have, which starts today at 3 weeks out from the show.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so for anyone wondering what the skincare routine would be if you are prepping for a bodybuilding show and you want to get the best possible spray tan results, right now we're going to be going through the protocol that the spray tanner for my show has sent out to all of the competitors. Each and every show usually has their own spray tanning company or person who's in charge of doing that for the competitors. You are allowed to set up your own tanning routine or protocol prior to the show, but Typically, most people recommend that you just go with whatever the show is providing so that you have a tan that is at least uniform with what everyone else is going to be getting. And you don't risk, making a mistake that you might make if it's your first time ever doing that or first time ever applying a self-tanner. So for me, I signed up with the spray tanner of the show. I do not trust myself to give myself my own tan, and I do not think that I'm going to regret that decision. So here's the routine. The details get put up here on the side as I go through them. So in the 3 weeks prior to the tan, I'm going to be taking an exfoliation glove and exfoliating with baking soda, along with using an oil-free shower gel every 2 days for the 3 weeks leading up to spray tan day. We shouldn't have any sunlines or sunburns going into our spray tan session. And on the day of our first coat of our tan, we're gonna have to exfoliate, shave our whole body everywhere, in all caps letters, she said. We have to make sure that we use no lotion on our body, no deodorant, no makeup, more for the girls, I think. And to make sure you have no perfume or cologne, since if you have perfume or cologne and then you get spray tanned, it's gonna turn green. And then the last shower that we're allowed to take before we get our first coat of spray tan is at most 4 hours away from the spray tan. So I think I will be able to use lotion in the few weeks leading up to the spray tan, but the day of, after the shower, no lotion, just so that the skin is, I guess, the most exposed in order to handle the spray tan and to coat properly. Moving on to what to wear to the appointment, just to wear the most comfy and soft pants that you have access to, and to wear a long sleeve sweater or a long sleeve hoodie, I'm guessing so that your skin is just not exposed to the elements, to the air, or to the rain if you're there. Wear sandals so that you're not wearing socks and kind of staining your socks or your shoes, and to bring an umbrella, more just for, I guess, the walk from your car to the actual spot where the spray tan's happening. Priorities for after the tanning appointment is to try to take it easy, do not get wet, sleeping with light clothes that night, either using your own sheets if you're staying at a hotel, so bringing ones that you can kind of switch out, or having some black sheets because your spray tan will stain the white sheets and then the hotel's gonna make you have to pay for new ones, obviously. And on show day, which the morning of the show we're gonna be getting our second coat of tan, no shower, and then to just be backstage at least 1 hour before we go on to compete. So I'm gonna be competing around 2 p.m. So I'll make sure that I'm there probably earlier than 1 p.m. but at the latest 1 p.m. so that we can get the glaze applied just before we step on stage. And she'll also be there for any touch-ups that are needed at the actual show in case that is required. The tan will remain good for 5 to 7 days if you pay attention to it. So just in case people have, photo shoots scheduled, or if they want to take their own videos and photos after the show. But otherwise, she says that it will begin to crack when it's ready to be removed. And then at that point, we just exfoliate with baking soda and the glove, and it'll come right off. So that's the main information about the spray tan. I always thought that you kind of just shave your body like the day before and then exfoliate a couple times, and then you just show up and get it done. But the fact that it's starting at this point 3 weeks out, where every couple days I gotta be exfoliating with baking soda and using an oil-free body wash, it's interesting, and I don't mind doing it, obviously, if it means that it's gonna give me the best possible result with the tan. I already know that I'm gonna look dark, but I don't think I'm ready to see just how dark it's gonna be, or how dark I'm gonna be after the spray tan. So it'll be funny to document that and see what that looks like in just a few weeks. So I figured to finish out the video, I would talk a little bit about just how I'm feeling this week and some of the thoughts that I've been having as I get closer and closer to show day. It's a weird feeling, to be honest, thinking about how a year ago I had just finished running a full marathon here in Montreal, and literally the day after that race, I went to Atlantis Gym and did my first workout of my bodybuilding prep, because I knew that I was going to dedicate the entire year from October 2024 till October 2025 to just trying to put on as much muscle mass as I could, and then getting down to as low of a body fat as I could. As you guys might know, it's been a lifelong dream of mine to do a bodybuilding show and to see just how far I can push my genetic potential and get to the best shape possible with no external means, no steroids, no drugs, nothing of that manner. And to know that I'm only 3 weeks away from the show day and from just seeing what I'm made of, you know, you gotta take a second and think about all the stuff that led up to this. And I started making videos back in probably June or July. Like at the time of posting this video, I've put out maybe 18 other videos and I've been posting once a week consistently on. And, you know, just in that time period, there's been crazy amounts of change. Like, maybe I'm gonna just put up a clip of how I was in my first kind of physique update here on one side, and then to how I am now currently on the other side. And there's a stark difference, but this is months of not messing up my macros, following the diet plan to a T for the most part, doing cardio every single morning and after every single workout. Like, you don't just get there overnight. And I think that's one of the biggest gimmicks that we see in the fitness industry and in life really, is this whole get there quickly, whether it's get fit fast or get rich fast. The truth is that any method that you're gonna do which is fast is also gonna be volatile. It's not necessarily gonna be sustainable. How many people have we seen lose 10 pounds in a week only to gain it all back within one more week after that? It's just your body, you just can't get something that's worth having without putting in the work. It's the most fundamental truth of life and success. So just trying to keep all that in perspective. And another thing that I've had on my mind over the last week, I've been thinking a lot about how fortunate I am to be getting to do this thing. That is preparing for a bodybuilding competition. You know, to think that my biggest worry in a day is that I have to hold myself back from eating as much food as I want, or that the hardest part of my day is that I have to go on a Stairmaster for 40 minutes. You know, there are people out there with real problems and real struggles, don't have the means to do some of these things that they're passionate about, or they don't have the time because they have to work to make ends meet, or they might not just physically be in a position where they're healthy enough or they have the tools to accomplish some of their fitness goals or to do the sport that they want to do. Knowing that every day I get up, I have a chance to go and, you know, lift weights and feel good and work on this privileged sport that I'd like to think it is in bodybuilding. It's important to remind yourself of that as you get closer and closer. I'm thinking about it more and more as I get close to the show day, because I just think about how, you know, there are a lot of things that have to go right for you to have a good prep. There are a lot of people around you who will help to support if they are a positive presence in your life. And yeah, it just makes you realize that, you know, some of these problems that we tend to think we might be having, they really aren't that big in the grand scheme of things. You know, if you look a little more outwards and you take a step back and you look at some of the bigger problems happening in the world, I am super fortunate to be getting to do a bodybuilding competition and to go through some of these struggles, which are, you know, self-imposed, and I put them on myself. Anyway, with that said, I'm gonna bring this video to a close. So I talked to you guys about the skincare routine we're gonna be doing for our spray tan in 3 weeks. Brought you through a bit of a pull day. You guys saw the physique update. Now, I'm gonna be opening up a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Bet you weren't expecting me to be a guy that was into TCG. I don't know, that's not something I'm really gonna show much on the channel, but you know, I've been collecting. I got quite a few sets going on here, and that's gonna be kind of my Sunday fun activity to do after I do meal prep and start editing this video. So I want to thank you guys again for watching the video. I appreciate you stopping by, giving me your time. If you liked the video, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because once we get to show day, it's going to be a great time. You guys are going to get some really nice insights into that, and especially into peak week. So I hope you guys are doing great wherever you are. Have yourself an amazing day, an amazing week, and until I see you next at 2 weeks out, take care, peace out, bye.